In 2018, the headlines were filled with the story of John Allen Chau, a 28-year-old American missionary who traveled to North Sentinel Island to reach a tribe in voluntary isolation. He didn't make it back. A young boy thrusted a spear into his side, ending his life at just 28. The media was brutal. They called it a foolish decision. They said he threw his life away. When I read that, it disturbed me. I started to ponder. Did he really make a foolish decision? Did he throw his life away? The answer to that question depends entirely on one thing. Did Jesus rise from the dead? As the Apostle Paul said, "And if Christ be not risen, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain. If only for this life we have hope in Christ, we are of all people most to be pitied." If the tomb is empty, John's decision wasn't foolish, it was faithful. But if the tomb is full, we're all wasting our time. Think about the man John went to die for 2,000 years ago. A carpenter, lived in an obscure village called Nazareth. He had no formal education, no Oxford or Cambridge. He never wrote a book, held an office, or owned a house. He never traveled more than 2,000 miles from home. He did none of the things we associate with greatness. At 33 years old, his friends ran away and he was nailed to a cross between two thieves. Yet, 20 centuries later, Napoleon Bonaparte, a man who knew power, said this: "Alexander, Caesar, Charlemagne, and myself founded empires upon sheer force. Jesus Christ alone founded his empire upon love. And at this hour, millions of men will die for him." Why would millions die for him? Why would Peter be crucified upside down? Why would Thomas travel 3,000 miles to be murdered in India? You only have three logical options for who Jesus is. He's either a liar, a lunatic, or the Lord. A liar? Would the disciples die excruciating deaths for a lie they invented? A lunatic? Someone who says, "I and the Father are one," is either crazy or telling the truth. But his life showed no signs of insanity, only perfect love and wisdom. I wouldn't go to a remote island knowing I might die unless I had a revelation of who he is. His love demands our soul, our life, and our all. But the greatest proof isn't just in history, it's inside you. Look deep inside your own heart. We all see it. The anger, the lust, the selfishness. The Bible calls it sin. 8 billion people on this planet are infected with it. Science can conquer space, but it cannot fix the human heart. Religion can give you rules, but it cannot change your nature. We are helpless. We cannot fix ourselves. And if God is holy, we cannot approach him with this corruption. There must be a consequence. And this is where the resurrection becomes the only solution. Christ, the God-man, never sinned. He was the only one who didn't owe a debt. Yet he took our consequences on the cross. He paid the bill we were supposed to pay. If Christ is the God-man, he had to rise because he paid our debt. Death and evil no longer had a legal hold on him. He rose to show he has the final authority over sin and death. When you put your faith in him, you get a clean slate. He helps us overcome the power of sin today, and he promises that one day we'll be raised just like he was. It all makes sense. It's a perfect plan. If Christ did not rise, we have no hope. But if he is risen, and I know he is risen because of the change in my own heart, then it changes everything. The best proof isn't a scientific paper. It's your own heart's testimony of your helplessness, met by his overwhelming grace. I hope that's an encouragement for you. Thanks for watching, and God bless.